Hi, my name is. My name is.
My name is Happy Hour with Johnny Radio.
My
This
name
hour
is.
is brought to you by
My name
Buster's
is.
Butcher at
My name
199
is.
South Highway, where every
Hi,
cut is
my
the
name
right
is.
cut. Now,
My
here's
name
your
is.
host, Johnny
My
Radio
name is.
himself, John Harden.
Hi, my name is. My name is. My name is.
Yo, 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 yo. Welcome into a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. I hope you're having a wonderful Monday in the Mid-South because guess what? We got all kinds of wonderful things going on here. I'm out here at Cherokee Valley for the 18th year straight that the Northwest Mississippi Fellowship of Christian Athletes putting on a beautiful golf tournament. We come out here every single year. I'm telling you right now, FCA, man, it's a calling. A lot of great fellowship, wonderful people out here. We have great sponsors, and we have a busy show. We had football on Saturday. It was a dog day on Saturday. Underdogs coming in all over the place. Brent Keys boys, double-digit dogs, outright win on the overrated number 10 team, the Florida State Seminoles. DJ Uiagalelei. He looked like what you expected, but Georgia Tech, my goodness, we're talking with Jake Crane today in about 10 minutes, and I want to talk about that offensive line, that big tight end, about 6'5", 265 pounds, mashing people, offensive line doing an amazing job, Haynes King making big plays, running downhill, the defense was physical, and the kid with the tattoo sleeve on his leg made the big kick. Georgia Tech already put a big old stab in Mike Norvell's heart. And, man, if you're just Florida State, you don't want nothing with this. You don't want anything to do with the state of Georgia. 63-3 last year. Georgia just beat the brakes off of Mike Norvell's Florida State team. And, of course, we saw what happened this weekend over in Dublin, Ireland. We also saw Pat McAfee. Did you see my man eat a 100-milligram edible on TV, drink a lot of beer, and then throw up in the middle of his show?
How about that?
It was definitely interesting, but it was nice waking up on a Saturday morning, having a beautiful day, watching College Game Day. We'll talk about how much I like Nick Saban up on there. He talked really good about Memphis. We'll get into that. I'm also kind of curious. What do you think, Florida State losing this weekend? Good or bad for Memphis? You've got to give you some hope. Like, damn, Memphis really might be able to play with them. And it also has to scare you just a little bit because you're going to have to sit on that flight, go all the way back to Tallahassee, and every single one of those men is going to have to look at themselves in the mirror and ask, are they going to right the ship and try to turn their season around? We're talking college football because it's back. We also got to talk about my man, and I saw this stat today that I'm about to give you, Bryant Dacus, who's back at the crib. You know, Aaron Judge is doing amazing things. Feels like every 15 seconds this dude's hitting another home run. He had 2 more yesterday. My man has already surpassed 50 home runs. We're not even in September yet. And then I saw this stat, and I thought it was wrong. And I'm going to ask you the question at the Sissy's Log Cabin. Text and listener line, 901-360-8255. Life is too short for ordinary jewelry. 901-360-8255. Aaron Judge now has become one of only 5 players in Major League history to have 50 home runs in 3 seasons. Can you name the other 4? One of them will shock you who's not on the list.
Really?
Oh, yes. And I'll let you guess here in a little bit, but we'll bring in some texters. Don't Google it, people. Don't Google it. We're just trying to see if you can name them. There's a few guys out there that are absolutely obvious. But there's one that I guarantee you, because I definitely I missed it today. Because I came up with 5 more guys. I was like, man, no, there's at least, I'm like, they're missing somebody. And then I looked and I was like absolutely astonished. I'll tell you the answer to that here in a little bit. But I want you to think about it. Aaron Judge, he's a machine, and he's tearing things up. But he's not the only one that's tearing things up. I mean, Shohei Ohtani. Dude, 40-40 is already here. It's not September, already said that. 50-50 is like realistic shot. And again, as much as I just love him hitting, stealing bases, hitting for power, one of the best hitters in baseball, period, into discussion, especially from that left side. Him and Yordan Alvarez, Judge from the right side, Juan Soto from the left side. But let's just not forget, do you remember what Shohei did last year? He went 15-9 with a terrible team, 2.33 ERA and 219 strikeouts. That's not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Like we forget also is what we're seeing him do with the bat. Like if he just focused on pitching, he wouldn't be just a top 25, top 30 pitcher in baseball. He might be the best. If he just focused on hitting, I'm sure the dude could play in the field. He might be the greatest hitter of all time. It's absolutely amazing what Shohei's doing, Aaron Judge, and we got all kinds of dudes out there doing amazing, amazing things in baseball. But we're going to talk here in just a minute with Jake Crane. But I wanted to tell y'all again, the people that are doing amazing things right now are my friends with the FCA. We're talking about Fellowship of Christian Athletes going out there and helping young people. And they do so many wonderful things like this golf tournament. They got Landers Ford, who came out here and sponsored this bad boy, Bobby Wharton, Energy, State Farm. Corporate sponsors were Atmos, Bank Plus, Candace Bank. All these people, Strike Zone, Bowling Lanes, Hernando Smiles, Cougar Chemicals, CM Builders, all of them come out there, give money to go out there and, preach the word to these young people. And the fact that you get to come out here, you get a little foursome team for $600, go out to a beautiful course out here at Cherokee Valley and just have a beautiful day. I always appreciate that they bring me out here. I am sad, though. I'm grateful to be here, but I don't get to play golf. That's a hard pill to swallow because let me tell you something. Cherokee Valley and that course, it looks absolutely gorgeous. I think some teams are going to go low in the scramble. But, again, I hope you have an absolutely amazing afternoon. Now, we're going to talk all kinds of things. Terry Davis, who usually joins us at 11:30, is going to join us at 12:30. He's got to deal with, little coaches show over there, talk with some Ryan Silverfield, do some Tiger work. So we're going to talk with him 12:30 at Hardwood because it feels so deadgum good. Funny stories, crazy things happening over the weekend. And we also, I have to remind you about another thing. It is Monday. Your weekend, I hope, was absolutely wonderful and beautiful. But guess what? You can make even your Monday wonderful and beautiful by just running over to Buster's Butcher and get the finest quality meats on planet Earth. I have become a super kin to the porterhouse steak. I get the heart, I get the strip, I cut it 1.5 inches thick. My girl cooks it so amazing, and you're thinking to yourself, John, you let your girl cook your meat? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I do for my girl because she always takes care of my meat? I buy my sides. All she has to do is focus on the meat because they have these amazing side dishes that are prepared every single morning. You take them home, you put them in your oven for 350, 20 minutes later, bing, bang, boom, you got it covered. When you're looking for a charcuterie board or different jams or sausages or anything that you can think of, come learn why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher, open 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 12 to 6 on Sunday, and you can learn more at bustersbutcher.com. And yes, Buster's. It's right next to the liquor store at 199 South Highland Street, the liquor store that everybody who went to the University of Memphis goes to and still goes to. But don't worry, they got another location. They opened up another liquor store at Ridgeway Trace Shopping Center right there, so check them out. We got Jake Crane up in this house.
We sure do.
I am so excited to talk some college football, but first and foremost, Jake Crane from Crane & Company, best show going in the whole deadgum world. My man's got hotter takes than I don't know. He spits fire like Dylon. Jake, what is up, my man?
Well, I love coming on talking about jams, sausages, and liquor on a Monday during college football season. What a time to be alive. Hey, I'll tell you what, last week that Georgia Tech plus 11 sure did cover pretty good, didn't it?
It felt so good, and let me tell you something. I even grew a little bit of a set and put a little bit on the money line just to juice it up a little bit since I was rooting for them. And, the one thing that I want to sit here and talk about now, is this something where you look at Brent Key and you look at that offensive line and Haynes King running the show, playing quarterback, you look how the defense tackled in the open field. They weren't overwhelmed by Florida State. They played a very, very good game. Is this a team right now, which I expect when the polls come out to be in the top 25, but are they going to be fighting like all year long for the ACC, or was Florida State just way overrated with all that they lost last year? The fact that they brought in DJU, which one are you kind of thinking? It's just been one game in the season.
Yeah, it is one game. But look, multiple things, I say this all the time, can be true at once. A lot of people are throwing a lot of shade at Florida State, and they deserve it. But I don't think enough people are talking about Georgia Tech won that game. Like, it wasn't like Florida State went in there and turned the ball over 4 times and got a punt blocked. Georgia Tech lined up, and when it mattered, was better at Florida State than what Florida State's whole identity was. I mean, when it came down to who was going to make the plays on third down, it was Haynes King, not DJU. When it came down to being able to get up there and establish the line of scrimmage or answer back when you got hit, Georgia Tech always found a way to answer, including coming right back down the field after giving up, what was just a bully ball touchdown to Florida State and the 2-point conversion. That was huge just from a momentum standpoint. But, Johnny Radio always said all offseason on Crane and Company, and always said it on Come On Here, is that Florida State doesn't have a plan B, because when you have DJU, you don't have a plan B. It's either plan A, or plan A, and if that doesn't work, you hope to God plan A works. Now, DJ, I didn't think played awful, but he's not going to be able to consistently make the throws, even when you're running the ball well, to win you a game in a tight set. And that's what you saw on Saturday. He wasn't awful. Mike Norvell and them didn't ask him to do a whole lot, which I think is very telling in itself, considering DJU's been a quarterback for 30 years in college football. But eventually, if somebody shows you who they are enough, you need to believe them, and DJU has shown us that. And with Florida State, they're either going to line up and be able to bully you the whole game and set the tone, dictate the tempo, and do all that, or they're going to have to try and find a way to manufacture the other half of their offense, which is the passing game. So, yes, Georgia Tech's for real. Georgia Tech should be competing for the ACC. We'll see how the rest of what we think the top of the ACC is going to look like. But it was a mixture of Georgia Tech hearing all offseason about how soft they were, and everybody thinking that DJU was going to make this massive transformation as a passer just because he went to play for Mike Norvell. It's hard to put accuracy and consistency throwing into someone who's been in the game this long. So that's who Florida State is. That's who we thought they were going to be. And it's going to be a struggle for them in games where they can't line up and just dictate whatever they want to do at the line of scrimmage.
I will say one thing. I would be a little bit concerned if I was Boston College. Florida State might come out absolutely angry, because the interesting thing you saw last week, it was weird. That first drive, they went right down their throat, got the 2-point conversion, and then, I don't know, I guess they thought they won the game on the first drive. That offense just never seemed nearly as physical. And the boys at Georgia Tech, in all honesty, every time I kept watching the line of scrimmage, I thought to myself, and I felt really good, especially late in that second quarter, I was like, they're going to wear Florida State down. That big tight end who kept coming in and then just mauling those linebackers and chipping on those ends, it was tripping me out.
Well, sometimes people forget Brent Key is an offensive line guy, and Georgia Tech returned a lot of their production on the offensive line from last year. They weren't going to be afraid of Florida State, and Florida State did lose 2 first-round NFL draft picks on the defensive line, and you really saw that hurt them in the interior. Yeah, Marvin Jones and them look good rushing the passer. They can get off the line of scrimmage on 3rd and 7. But when Georgia Tech was running their eye candy motion, getting their eyes wide, they were just pumping the ball in the B gap and daring Florida State to be man enough to be able to stand there and take it. And Florida State wasn't able to stand there and take it. And the few times where Florida State was able to get them behind the chains when it mattered, Haynes King was able to find a way to wiggle out of it or extend the play outside of the pocket and to be able to extend drives. But when you look at really the way that Florida State was having to operate on offense, you had a pretty good idea how predictable they were going to be. But once they got into passing downs, Georgia Tech said, screw it, we're just going to blitz. And DJU's not only going to have to make throws quickly, he's going to have to read where to go with the ball quickly, because he's not as elusive as Jordan Travis was, or what some people think he was.
And the other thing, just to the flip side on talking about Brent Key, physical offensive line play, being a former offensive line coach, he also is very lucky. After this big game over in Dublin, their next 6 games, they should roll through, and they'll be probably undefeated when they get to play Florida State at their own Notre Dame at their own crib, I believe, in the middle of October. That's it. I mean, this Georgia Tech team and Haynes King and them boys might absolutely be surprising some people. The one thing I did want to ask you, though, that I was a little bit worried about Brent Key, I thought he used Haynes Kings in the quarterback run just a little bit too much. I understand you want to have that threat and that option. He is a decent athlete when he's running the football. But the 3 horses that they were running in, the big number 9, their running backs were constantly going downhill. Did that kind of a little bit, because I was screaming in the game, quit having Haynes King run the ball so much on some of these big plays.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at it. Yes, you put him in harm's way, but you had to do it to win the game. I mean, one of the reasons that Georgia Tech was able to run with the success that they were able to run with was because they were attacking. They could attack Florida State from 3 different places, right? You could get attacked from the quarterback position, whether that's on the edge or the interior of the line of scrimmage, whether it's power read, whatever. You could get attacked on the jet sweep they were running, where they'd put the running back in the slot, or you would get attacked just by the running back, whether that be off the give, off the zone read action, or a true run. Because, look, the quarterback running truly gets you a hat on a hat. It's impossible as an offense in the run game to get a hat on a hat when you're handing the ball off to the running back because the quarterback's not blocking. It turns into 11 versus 10. Well, when the quarterback runs, you truly have the utmost advantage you can have as an offense because now the running back is blocking, and it's 11 on 11 with the ball carrier and a tackler being free with 10 other guys going at each other. So I understand why he did it. Sometimes you've got to take that risk when you're in a game like that, and you're probably out-talented, which Georgia Tech was, but what they were doing was working because of not only where they were hitting it, but when they were hitting it and who they were hitting it with.
And Buster Faulkner and Brent Keys, I just have to say their game plan had Florida. I thought it was just better than Florida State's. They used a lot of motion, and again, they used those big tight ends to block. And if you were watching those linebackers, they weren't reacting very quick for Florida State. So I just got to say a big tip of the cap because everybody talks about Mike Norvell in offense. Georgia Tech came with the better game plan.
Oh, yeah, you got outcoached, you got outplayed, and you got outclutched. I mean, that's just your classic law.
Now, I don't know how many people out there realize that we got football August 29th, Thursday. I know Memphis fans were watching the Florida State game, really trying to scout the team, thinking about when they play them on September 14th. Tennessee fans, everybody is just like goo-goo for Gaga in Knoxville. Nico Amaleava is just Heisman hope. Everybody's believing in him. Josh Heupel's going to do all this. One thing is, though, I keep hearing a lot of good things about NC State. They're just playing, Western Carolina. They're in the top 25. How good do you think North Carolina State can be, and what do you expect to see from them this season? Because that big game against Tennessee is the one I'm looking for on September 7th.
Well, I think what makes NC State dangerous is their depth and their balance. This isn't a one-trick pony. Now, we'll see if Grayson McCall can stay healthy. I don't think he's going to be put in harm's way nearly as much as he was with Jamie Chadwell and then obviously with Tim Beck when he was at Coastal. But NC State's a team that can win in multiple ways, and the teams that can win the most ways are the most dangerous. This isn't like, a team that's a high-flying offense with a really bad defense that they're just trying to hope to win track meets, and they're dangerous in that way. But as far as Tennessee, why would you not be over the moon right now if you're a Tennessee fan? You're coming off a really good year. You've got a young quarterback that you think can be really dynamic, borderline generational. You're really good around them. You're recruiting your butt off right now, including getting David Sanders, which if you want to bridge the gap in between the top of the top of college football and the middle, it's on the line of scrimmage. So, yeah, Tennessee should have a lot of confidence, but I caution, and I think most Tennessee fans realize this, number one, you're playing in Charlotte, which is, yes, it's a neutral site game, but it's really not. And number two, you can't be looking toward that Oklahoma game on the road because this NC State team is not some diet ACC team that you're going to be able to just line up and play a game of we beat you at birth regardless of how good you play. And I think it's a good test and a good warm-up for Tennessee because it's not at home. Nico can go. I know he played in the bowl game in a neutral site. He'll be playing in a neutral/hostile territory in Charlotte. And then you go on the road in Norman in what's going to be a massive game for both of these programs. So, yeah, I think Tennessee fans are smart in general. They realize this NC State game is big, especially if you look down the stretch and trying to make the playoff and get into that 10-win mark. But NC State, this isn't your granddad's NC State.
Two lines that are freaking me out right now because I've already taken Tennessee a little bit earlier last week. I got a minus the 4.5 against NC State. Since I've taken it, gotten a little bit concerned, but I also kept looking at that LSU USC game. I know Caleb Williams ain't at USC. I also know Jaden Daniels ain't there. I don't know why. I feel like LSU minus 4.5. Am I crazy to think that might even be the better bet than Tennessee against NC State?
You know, I don't think you're crazy thinking it because I look at the biggest mismatch is going to be LSU's offensive line versus USC's front seven. I know USC has tried to make some adjustments. They got a new DC in there, the guy from UCLA who was really good. They got North Dakota State's head coach to come in and coach the linebackers. But the problem is neither one of those coaches are going to be playing in the game. And I think LSU's just going to try and smush USC for as long as possible and make USC have to be borderline perfect on offense. I really hope the total keeps getting bet down. The last time I saw it, I think it was at 63.5, and I know a lot of people were on the over when it was 66.5. So obviously there's some thinking going the other way. But when I look at this matchup, man, I like the over right now. I like LSU. Not that I don't think USC won't score, but I think LSU will be a little bit more organized defensively, and USC will make a couple of mistakes. It's 63.5 right now. I like the over in this LSU-USC game. I think we're going to live stream it on Sunday as well, so it should be a hell of a matchup. It's the closest thing to the Spider-Man gift pointing at each other that we got.
Which conference right now do you think is going to cannibalize each other? Like, you can look at the SEC, and, I mean, you see all the teams that are there that are ranked. You know how hard it is to win every single week. You look over the Big Ten, I feel like it's a little bit more top-heavy. The ACC, I have no clue. The Big 12, I mean, it looks like it cannibalizes each other. Which week in and week out, are you going to watch games and not have a clue which way they're going to go?
Man, I think the Big 12, to me, just because the unfamiliarity, obviously, of some new teams being in there. There's some unknowns about some teams in year two. You know, what's Arizona State going to look like? Even at the top, you know, can Oklahoma State continue to evolve off what they did last year, being that heavy downhill run team? Can Bowman be a better passer? Kansas State's got a new quarterback who a lot of people are high on. You look at Colorado, there's going to be some games where they look incredible on offense and then other ones where they look inept. I got to go Big 12, but I don't think it's by a lot.
I think you're right, man. I think the Big 12 is going to be just an exciting brand of football. I do think, though, when they get to playoffs, they're going to see the big boys, and it's going to be a little bit different. But I also feel like the ACC. I feel like the ACC could have a either pretty decent save after that terrible loss for number 10 Florida State on Saturday. If they can come out there and if Clemson can look good against Georgia, well, that could help. But that's also a game that I think could go completely south. We talked about NC State. Like, could the ACC get just punched in the face really early in the season and people lose all respect?
Well, I mean, I don't feel good about Clemson.
Because I'm also starting to like Florida against Miami.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, if Miami goes down and Clemson goes down, I mean, you better start thanking your lucky stars that SMU won. And it's gonna. The only difference is the reason the Florida State game hurt so badly is because that was a conference game. You know, Miami, you can lose to Florida, win your conference, you get the bye, make the playoff. You know, you look at SMU even against Nevada. They ended up winning the game, but if you lost that one, you could find a way to bounce back. The Florida State game hurt. You know, at least you get a conference game right after it. At least you get to play BC now, which we'll see. If they couldn't stop Haynes King, they're going to have trouble with Castellanos.
Texas A&M, Notre Dame, I am stoked to see quarterback and coach basically opposite fields going against each other. It's fascinating. But I was listening to a buddy of mine, Bruce Marshall, out there for the Gold Sheet. He is really high on Texas A&M. He's high on their schedule. He's high on Mike Elko. Is this the team that, you know, right now Tennessee fans, they're pumping their chest. Missouri fans believe they can make it. Ole Miss down in Oxford's believing it. Is Texas A&M the one who just sit quietly, kind of looking there at the outside that's going to bust this party up and join the college football playoff?
They sure could. You know, I predicted them to go 10-2, and you just thought I tried to kidnap the president's kid. last week. I mean, when you look at their schedule, it sets up. And this is a good football team. And what have you not heard about A&M this offseason? Anything. Nothing. Not one thing. There isn't any extra drama.
Damn.
There isn't guys getting arrested left and right. Jimbo Fisher isn't calling out Nick Saban on a clapback. They're just working on blocking and tackling and being good in the fundamentals. I think Mike Elko is going to turn them back nasty again into why they're called the 12th man. You go back to Junction Boys, you go through their history. I think this is a perfect hire. I like A&M in this game because I think Notre Dame's a little bit weaker on the offensive line than what a lot of people realize. You lost Joe Alt and Blake Fisher, both your tackles to the NFL. You're pretty decent on the interior, but your stud up-and-coming freshman phenom, the left tackle, Charles Jagaza, is out for the year. And A&M's front seven is like getting hit with a semi-automatic. So I tell you what, man, you're going into Kyle Field. You got a quarterback that hadn't played behind an offensive line that's had to already pull out some spare parts. I think this A&M team is focused. I think they're disciplined. I think they're pissed off, and that's when A&M is at their best. I like the Aggies this weekend.
I like them this weekend, and I look at their schedule. You got no Georgia, you got no Alabama, you got no Ole Miss, and you get Texas at home last game of the year at College Station. I kind of like that pick. Dadgummit, I did not realize how long I was talking to you. Do me a big favor. You got a huge show coming up. You got a huge week. Tell everybody what you got going over at Crane & Company, what you and your boys got going down. Blaine, your brother's been killing it, David Cohn. And you, if you are not watching Crane & Company, I don't know if you care about sports. And I just also wanted to say one other thing. Bruce Pearl has just made me smile all weekend.
Oh, Bruce is the man. We just got to beat Yale in the NCAA tournament, and then I'll be happy. Yeah, look, here's the truth. We were up 11. We finished up over 60 units last year in college football betting. We're already plus 11 units up right now. So if you like to bet on college football, look, we all played and coached in college. If you love football in general, the NFL too, and you haven't listened to our show, CRAIN & Company, just type it in on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We got Jake Butt from Michigan on today. We're previewing all the big matchups, trying to stay hot, winning everybody money, everybody getting excited together. So, yeah, come hang out with us.
My man, thank you so much for your time. Sorry I kept you so long. Be blessed. I'll be watching all week long.
All right,
that's
hey,
my
how about
buddy.
Mr. Rattler for the Saints too, bro? Cooking.
Man, I'll tell you one thing. Dude, is Joe Milton actually going to end up making New England Patriots and they're going to get rid of Bailey Zappi?
Dog, I'm going to tell you something. It's so funny. This is why I love covering college football, because all these NFL guys are on, like, Chapter 2, and we're on, like, Chapter 8 of the Joe Milton experiment. We all know how it ends.
I know we do. Jake, be blessed. We'll do it again next week. Enjoy the football.
All right, brother. Be good.
That is my buddy. Follow him at Jake Crane _. Don't forget, people, we are out here at the wonderful 18th annual. It's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's the Northwest Mississippi chapter. My man Cecil Sal's out here. There's a bunch of great men. And again, this is for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Hopefully you can be a part of it. If you want to learn a little bit more, go to northwestmsfca.org. That's, of course, www.northwestmsfca.org to learn more. You can maybe join and come out here and play with us next year. But we do need to take a quick time out. We're back in Two Shakes. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
At Buster's Butcher, we're a full-service butcher shop offering a curated selection of quality meats, steaks, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. Our skilled butchers are also experienced chefs. They'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking our fine selection of products. Located next to Buster's Liquors and Wines in the University District on Highland and Poplar, we're like nothing else you can find in Memphis. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles, ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can get it all. Whether it's repairs, remodeling, or new building, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, tubs, vanities, sinks, mirrors, lighting, furniture, even door hardware. All the latest designs as well as timeless classics. And if outdoor fun is on your mind, they have the big green egg and accessories. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51. 8560 Highway 51. Easy home improvement.
Looking for an engagement ring that will really knock your socks off? You need to be at Genesis Diamonds. It's such a privilege at Genesis Diamonds for us to work with the world's finest designers, to be able to offer brands like Tacori and Verragio, and we're excited to be able to give you something really discount. Genesis Vice President David Cooper, the craftsmanship, the detail, the quality, the individuality is bar none better than anything else. Genesis has been selected as an exclusive provider for every top designer from ways to choose from. And if that's not enough, they can create something that's truly custom craft you literally anything you can imagine. We have the capabilities to realize any dream you have. These and other stores we call new. We've been doing it for 5 years already. So don't settle for a mediocre style design. You deserve. I'm David Cooper from Genesis Diamonds, and I'm excited to see you show. It's extended.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Monday. It's that time of the year, man. We're just getting ready for football. We had a little bit of taste of it, just a little taste. Got a little Georgia Tech action. They manhandled Florida State. Brent Key's boys, man. I just was so impressed with that offensive line. And Dacus, I'm going to ask you a question. Did you take Georgia Tech? Because remember, Jake Crane told you to take them on Monday. And you remember what I was saying on Friday, don't you?
Of course.
Oh, I guess.
No, my mic was off. I was just trying to turn it on. Give me some time, John.
Did you lock and load on a little Georgia Tech?
I played them first half, the first half spread. I didn't play them the game. I just played them first half.
Oh, but you got a nice dub to start the season off, didn't you?
That's right.
That's what I wanted to hear. That's what matters right now. Now, my curiosity is this a great thing for the University of Memphis? Because there's always, of course, different opinions, two schools of thought, people who feel this and people who feel that. I will tell you, watching the game, watching Georgia Tech's offensive line, absolutely, I think, physically handle the trenches. I loved what they were doing with the tight ends. And let's be honest, Haynes King, who was so effective with also running the football. They were really good at running the football. But my man, still, they didn't have to do anything like put it on his shoulder. He only threw 16 passes, completed 11 for 146 yards. Key there was 0 interceptions. And let's just be real, the key to that was the offensive line help open up holes, and Georgia Tech ran for 190 yards, 3 touchdowns, and they averaged, as a team, 5.3 yards a rush. That is a hell of a game by the running backs, by the offensive line. And again, I just thought it was a great offensive the game plan. You had the linebackers, first game of the year, a bunch of new guys back there, and you had motion going on. You would change your tight ends. You bring in different personnel looks. I thought it was a very, very great job by Georgia Tech. And now I'm curious, though. This is my thought, because, again, right when that game's over, I'm screaming and yelling. I'm like, tell me, Seth Hennigan is going to throw all over that Florida State secondary. The offensive line is going to be great this year. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Hell, Georgia Tech is shoving Florida State. They were, especially stopping the run. DJU, again, DJU didn't throw an interception. He didn't turn the ball over. He was just as pedestrian as DJU always is. He looks great coming off the bus. 19 for 27, 193 yards, 7 yards in average. But on third down, he couldn't make the big play. And also the wild thing was Georgia Tech, they didn't let DJU, who is big and physical, run the ball down their throat. And they held Florida State to under 100 yards rushing, 31 attempts. Florida State only averaged 3.2 yards per carry. If Memphis's front seven can handle, I'm thinking to myself, man, we can go to Tallahassee. And, yeah, I said we because I love me some Memphis. September 14th at 11 o'clock and get a big dub. The other school of thought, though, is talking to a bunch of my Memphis friends, especially one of them who's this really great man named my father. Man, he was telling me, oh, man, that's the worst thing that could ever happen to Memphis. Because now you're going to fly all the way back, and you're going to have 125 dudes down at FSU who are going to be the most focused team on planet Earth because they know what they dropped in Dublin after having a preseason top 10 ranking is just atrocious. And this is a program right now that got left out of the college football playoff, got beat by 60 points in their bowl game last year, and then flew their butts all the way across the pond over to Dublin to get thrown up on by Georgia Tech and Pat McAfee. This is also a team, if you saw some of the Mike Norvell all throughout the offseason talking about how focused this team is and how they just want to get that terrible taste out of their mouth and they want to move on. Well, every one of those dudes are going to have to look in their mirror and decide what they're going to do. Two schools of thought. Kind of wonder what you think. Dacus, was this a good or bad for Memphis for them to lose in Dublin?
Yeah, I don't think it matters one way or the other. I mean, it's still 2 weeks before they play them. You're talking about a game that happened in Dublin, a conference game. Like, I had a lot of people texting me.
Two schools of thoughts. It could.
I guess I'm in the third school of thought then.
That you just think it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. I know that might not be a good answer for radio, but I just
no, I got you.
I don't think
I'm hearing.
I don't think you can really take much away from that game. Maybe you can take more away from next week against Boston College, but I was just as worried about the game as I was before the game happened, and I had the same exact thoughts before that I had after. I don't think there was going to be anything in that game unless Florida State just came out and beat them by like 50. That was going to change what I thought about the game against Memphis.
For Florida State to only be able to put up 7 second-half points, that's what's – sorry about that, a little cold. For Florida State to come out and basically be blanked in the third quarter the way they were, for their offense to look so vanilla. Like I'm telling you, I don't know if it's DJU and Mike Norvell don't trust him, but did you see anything that you thought to yourself was exceptional that when you left that game you were like, you know what, Florida State is going to be able to do this, or they are going to be able to do that. They are going to be able to lean on this. I'm telling you right now, I feel like Mike Norvell flew all the way back to Dublin thinking to myself, damn, bringing in DJU, bringing him back. We saw him at Clemson. That's terrible. And by the way, man, how long? I mean, you had your quarterback situation for a good 4 years. You ain't been looking for somebody else. Your answer this year after replacing Jordan Travis was to go out there and get a rental for 1 year from DJU, who the only reason is probably a rental is because the whole Pac-12 dissolved?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just seems like for how high people were on Mike Norvell, Florida State fans, they could be a little bit upset, man. I'm going out there and going to say it's going to be an amazing year for our boy Seth. I think Ryan Silverfield is going to be thrown up into everybody's going to be talking about, where did this guy come from? Oh my goodness. I'm just hoping that it's going to be that special year and they go down to Tallahassee and they just whip that tail, if you know what I mean. Now, I got to switch up and go back to a little bit of baseball before I pay some bills and tell you out here I'm at Cherokee Valley. The golf course looks beautiful. We're out here for the 18th annual FCA, 18th year in a row. Northwest Mississippi chapter is putting it on. You can learn more to going to northwestmsfc.org. Check it out. We got some great sponsors, some great people. We're going to have a lot of fun, some golf, and some good food. Now, remember the question I asked you earlier. Aaron Judge is now one of only 5 guys in Major League history with 50 home runs in 3 seasons. Dacus, were you able to guess the other 4?
No. Unfortunately, I wasn't. But we did have some texters text in and try to guess. If you would like me to read those off,
please.
So we have one
that
texter that texted in. Randy texted in and said Babe Ruth, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and A-Rod. And he also added that Babe Ruth did it 4 times.
Well, guess what? Randy's right.
Wow.
He didn't have to Google either.
I think he looked it up.
My question is, what did you think about Barry Bonds not being on there?
That's a good question.
No, I mean that's what I said this morning. I was like, Barry Bonds is on there.
Sure.
I actually left off Sammy Sosa, but I'm sitting here going, he hit 73 home runs in a season.
That's right.
He had to hit 50 home runs. Nope. The only season Barry Bonds hit over 50 home runs was in 2001 when he hit 73. Now, Barry hit 49, 46, 45, 45, 40, 42, 46. So he had a lot of years of 40-plus. But only getting more than 50 one year, and it was the year that he hit 73. I thought that was fascinating. And what Aaron Judge is doing is right now out of control. My man is not missing. And did you see that this weekend that it went Soto, Judge, and Stanton? First time all 3 dudes went back-to-back-to-back this season.
Here's my thing, John. Hey, Aaron, do it outside of Yankee Stadium. I mean, we get it. You can hit home runs, but he hit a home run yesterday that just barely got out of the short porch, and now we're talking about him being, just unbelievable. Do it somewhere else. Go to one of these hitter-friendly ballparks, play for their team, and then hit all these home runs, and then I'll believe that you're a great hitter.
Well, I'm going to say he's got his OPS of 12 right now. 12
something
50
like
plus
that.
bombs, 3 seasons now.
Yeah,
50
whatever.
plus
Yeah, something
bombs.
like that. Yeah.
Another baseball question though I kind of thought was interesting. Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Vladdy
came in at,
Vladdy.
Yeah, my question is does he have to get out of Toronto before he's realized that he's a superstar? He had a little bit of slow start to the season. He has been on an absolute torrid pace. He's been tearing. He's back to being one of the best players in the world. Since the All-Star break, he's batting .330. On-base percentage is .395. .555 slugging. He's got a pace to hit at least over 33 home runs. And you have to remember, this is a team that came out of the box and was just absolutely terrible. Vlad Guerrero Jr., get out of Toronto. You're a free agent this year. Do you think he's going to be him and Juan Soto? Juan Soto, I'm sorry. His plate discipline, the fact that he can play the outfield is great. I love me some Juan Soto, super, super stud. But Vlad Guerrero Jr. ain't going to be $500 million right now. I think he is a hell of a I think he's still got his best baseball in front of him.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
I think if you get him out of there, I think his world could absolutely go on fire. So, come on, Vladdy. Let's do it. By the way, are you still gambling on baseball, or now that football season's here, are you just doing your thing? Because there's a game today at 12:10.
Yep.
Royals and the Guardians.
Take the Royals.
You're taking the Royals?
Absolutely. In both games. It's a doubleheader.
I like it. It is? Oh, yeah, that's right. Royals, Guardians. And you're taking Kansas City minus the 35. Bobby Witt's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
If you haven't been watching Bobby Witt Jr., hop all over that. So I think I'm going to play with you. That game goes here in about 20 minutes. So jump on the Royals, minus 135 right now. But we got to take a quick timeout. But I did want to remind you, if you need to sell your house fast, call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Bing, bang, boom. I just sold your house. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. That's any house, any area, as is. As simple as that. Just pick up your phone. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. We're out here at Cherokee Valley. Golf course looks beautiful. Doing some wonderful things in the community. It is the Northwest Mississippi FCA chapter, raising money for the kids and all the people to go out there and take care of, football season's going on. Man, especially thinking about the football teams, all the things that they do with those young kids. It is awesome. I know I was part of FCA when I was over at Houston. And speaking of Houston, Dacus, did those boys go out there and beat the brakes off Briarcrest?
Yeah, he looked good.
Dang it. Did you see they had a real Mustang on before the court? Before the game?
Yeah, he kind of botched it, in my opinion.
Dude, it's still a real horse, isn't it?
Yeah, but, the horse comes out, and I was like, okay, this is cool. And then, I don't know what happened, but the team wasn't, right there after the horse. You got to all come out at the same time. It was cool, though. I'm very much joking. It was really cool. Tell me another place that has a live animal at their high school game.
Man, I don't know, man. I really don't. But I will tell you something. Collins Day's kid looked really, really good at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line looked good. Man, defending 6A champs, Houston off to the right. When you got high school football, we got all kinds of college football to talk about. Baseball is also still in full swing. We got a game at 12:10. Hop on the Royals and enjoy winning a little bit of money. But we're going to take a quick time out. We're going to be back in two shakes from Cherokee Valley, Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Drive like a pro and support a great cause during the sales drive at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, and Landers Ford North in Covington. We've provided over 100 new Fords to be driven by the pros at the FedEx St. Jude Championship. Now they're all being sold with demo prices. That's right. Over 100 new Fords driven by the pros are being sold with demo pricing below market value. A portion of the proceeds go directly to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. This is a once-a-year opportunity to trade up and drive like a pro while supporting a great cause. Visit LandersMemphis.com. That's LandersMemphis.com. Or come see us at Landers Ford in Collierville, Landers Ford South in South Haven, or Landers Ford North in Covington. With our Landers Easy Pass, you can get top dollar for your trade-in to help you save even more. Don't miss your chance. Reserve your demo-priced new Ford driven by a pro at the FedEx St. Jude Championship and lock in low APR financing. Remember, if it doesn't say Landers, you paid too much.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wallo said hello.
They can't get that Central Barbecue location on Central back open soon enough.
It's still going to be a little while. They do things right at Central Barbecue. That's why every location is so unique.
I know, but there's a lot of different Central Barbecue locations, but I miss the OG, the Central Barbecue on Central.
You know, it's going to be completely different.
Well, not completely.
Yeah, when the Central Barbecue location on Central reopens, it'll be bigger, nicer, more streamlined.
But still on Central.
That's about the only thing. For the time being, until they tell us different, you can't go wrong with any of the Central Barbecue locations.
You know, I think we've broken a record for saying Central Barbecue the most times in a Central Barbecue commercial.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa sale. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up.
breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand, based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Are you looking to save on gas? Well, we got it covered at Gossett Kia on the Pike with 41 and Beachy Highway and your new 2024 Kia Forte LXS. $199 a month, $37.99 to its signing. Or how about a 2024 Kia EV9 Lite with 0% APR available for 48 months? Or get 304 EPA estimated range for $389 a month, $49.99 to its signing. All 24-month lease. Plus, you always get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile Powertrain Limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike or online 24/7, 365 at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Acquisition fee $20,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 794-066 MSRP 21820. EV9 R60 29603 MSRP 61035. Lease terms include all rebates and incentives, and PF 695 includes tax, title, license, registration, and fees. Must finance through Hyundai with approved credit, valid through 8/31/24. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour brought to you by Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland, where every cut is the right cut. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I am your buddy Johnny Radio. We are down here at Cherokee Valley, the golf course right there over in Oliver's Branch, Mississippi. Course looks beautiful. Everybody's getting ready. They're out there doing a little practice putting, getting their day ready, a little scramble action, and everything goes to the FCA, the Northwest Mississippi chapter. If you want to donate, you can donate every month. Go to northwestmsfca.org. That's northwestmsfca.org. Unbelievable. You never know what you can do. Like just meeting somebody for something very calm and casual, something very simple. Like Dacus, I got a weird thing I'm going to tell you. You know, like a dude bought me lunch. All right. And you know, I'm not, you go to a little Bible study. You go to Bible study like all the time and stuff. You're very involved with your church, correct?
That's right.
I have always been a little bit of somebody who's trying to figure everything out. And one day, Steve Gaines was in Central Barbecue, and I was standing behind him, and he had all of his grandchildren. And I know Dr. Gaines is. He's the, the preacher at Bellevue Baptist. And him with all those grandkids, me just kind of like talking to him because nobody else was with him. And I said, man, you're a pretty good preacher, but you're also a brave, brave man. Because I don't know if I would go anywhere with 7 grandchildren. And we had a nice little chuckle, and we talked and exchanged pleasantries. And then when I went time to pay for my meal, Dr. Gaines bought my lunch.
Very nice.
Now, that was really nice. Kind of made me think about him a little bit different. Guess what I started doing? Watching his church service on Sundays from the house. And then you won't even believe this, man. I went to actually church. I was at the house in Bellevue on Sunday. So,
how about that?
I can guarantee you, if he didn't throw out that just one small act of kindness, I don't think I would be there. And now I'm thinking about joining the church. Young people who are out there who are involved with, all the things that it has to be with being in high school, going to playing sports. And this is about, the fellowship of the Christian athletes and how these young people can go out there and be mentors to their community. They can lead by example. And, like just the fact that you can get in their life and get involved is something that I think is special, and plus it's absolutely needed. Again, if you would like to help, Northwest Mississippi FCA.org. That's northwestmsfca.org. And again, one other thing about Dr. Gaines. Yeah, I know everybody knows I'm talking about eating edibles and, drinking Tito's constantly. but we all fall short, and he made me feel pretty good about myself yesterday. So, yes, come on out here and check us out. We're going to be out here playing the little scramble, and we got great sponsors. Landers Ford, they do so many things in the community. Not only do they have amazing cars, but they care about the community. They are our title sponsor along with Bobby Wharton, Energy, State Farm, Ryan England, Windstone Dental. We got some other great sponsors like Atmos, Bank Plus, Cadence Bank, C&M Builders, Cougar Chemical, Hernando Smiles, and Strike Zone Bowling Lanes. We're brought to you by Buster's Butcher, where every single cut counts. Finest. It's a full-service shop, bro. Like, they cut everything to order. They got curated meats as well. The best quality meats and cheeses, prepared foods that they do daily that you can take home and just warm in your oven while you're focused on your meat. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com. On the other side, we're going to talk a little bit of some funny stuff. We're going to do a little bit of hardwood where it feels so good. Talk a little bit about what we saw in the National Football League. And my goodness, Justin Fields, man. I'll talk a little NFL news. And I feel like I'm constantly picking on the Steelers, but damn, dude. Russell Wilson looks washed. Justin Fields, he looked great at Ohio State. Now is throwing his line under the bus, his offensive line, blaming the sacks on his offensive line. My goodness, come on, Justin, you're holding the ball forever. We'll talk about fun things, quarterbacks, coaches, and we got all kinds of sports to gamble on. So do me a favor, don't touch the dial. We're going to be back in 2 shakes. This is Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
Make your next grill your last with a Big Green Egg. Smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill, all with a lifetime warranty. Save money on fuel, eating out, and replacing expensive grills that cannot match the flavor of the Big Green Egg. Ready to cook in only 10 to 15 minutes with temperatures below 200, above 700, and anywhere in between with ease. Change your at-home cooking experience for life. Go to shop.biggreenegg.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Are you ready to make this the summer event rock and Ronnie? Because the place to buy is Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. I'm ready, Randy. Check this out. A 2024 Jeep Compass Sport four-wheel drive, $2,700 or $398 a month. 2024 Jeep Compass Sport 4x4, $2,790 or $398 a month. Or take your pick, a 2023 Dodge Challenger RT or a 2024 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Tracer two-wheel drive, $38,990 or $579 a month. Rock and Ronnie says drive past the rest and come to the NASDAQ. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Or shop us anytime online at GossettMotorCars.net.
Months at 7.99, Ram and Challenger 5,000 down, Jeep 4,000 down, Challenger PH 574221, MSRP 52315, Jeep RT 173869, MSRP 28,090, 0% for 36 months. Grand Cherokee and Wrangler price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details.
There are jewelry stores, and then there's Genesis Diamonds, the cutting-edge industry leader, the pioneer. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine, and it's no secret that jewelry stores across America watch what Genesis is doing. Genesis was the first to offer a free lifetime warranty, the first to offer a 120% diamond upgrade guarantee, the first to offer aggressive long-term, zero-interest financing. And Genesis is always on the cutting edge of design and fashion, the styles other jewelers say are new and exciting. New and exciting for Genesis 3 or 4 years ago. Genesis has the fashion for
leads, others follow. So for diamonds, engagement rings, exclusive designer jewelry for any occasion, and luxury premium Lexus, don't compromise. Get to the jewelry that sets industry standards year after year. Get to Genesis Diamonds. Automotive network extended.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Podcasting Stations.
That was one of those things. When things get too heavy, just call me helium.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. It is a Monday. We are down at Cherokee Valley over here in Olive Branch. 18th year we're doing the FCA Scramble. It's the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's their Northwest Mississippi chapter out there taking care of young people, doing all kinds of positive things in their community. Today we are raising money. Great sponsors. Beautiful weather. A little bit warm, but dadgummit, that golf course looks good. If you want to be a part of it, why don't you next year go to northwestmsfca.org and learn how you can be a part of a bunch of young people's lives. Get out here with fellowship and just a lot of faith and a lot of fun things. Now, we had football over the weekend. Georgia Tech took care of Florida State. Everybody out there right now, if you're in the ACC, has got to be a little bit worried. They're wondering what's going to happen with NC State. Is Texas A&M, not Texas A&M, is Miami, Florida game that's coming up. Everybody was thinking Miami. Man, I don't know, man. We're going to be talking a little bit of football, but I got to bring up something before I do Hardwood because it just feels so good. Been talking a little bit of Tennessee football because everybody, it seems like in Knoxville, is getting a little bit excited. Everybody in Memphis is a lot excited. Everybody in Oxford is real excited. Hell, you look around the SEC in the Mid-South with the 12-team college football playoff, the expansion, the fact that you think the ACC might be weak. Notre Dame, if they start off losing to Texas A&M, have a tough schedule. They aren't there. You look at the Big 12, they could cannibalize each other. The Big 10 seems just damn top-heavy. Feels like there's a lot of teams in the SEC, and especially around these parts, that feel that they can make it. And I know one thing, Tennessee, because I love Ole Miss. We're going to talk a lot of Ole Miss football this week. They play Furman this week. They'll absolutely roll. I'm not really excited about that game. But I will say about Tennessee, you have a lot to be extremely, extremely excited about. Everybody. I mean, if you just remember what you saw last year against a very stingy Iowa defense, the young man Nico Iamaleava he looks like he's going to be that dude. And you have to remember what Josh Heupel was able to do with Hendon Hooker, everybody's favorite hooker. But the offensive line, man, looks a little bit salty. I like James Pierce as a pass rusher coming off the edge. This is a guy who was going to be a first-round draft pick. The linebacker unit's going to be filthy. The only concern a little bit is you have that secondary, but what's one thing that helps out a young secondary? That would be a hell of a pass rush. And again, James Pierce is going to be one of the best in the country coming off that edge. You also have my man, the real McCoy. Dude, the offensive line, experienced. Josh Heupel, that coach, schedule, very, very favorable. I'm telling you right now, Tennessee, you win in Norman, and you either beat Alabama or them boys, Georgia. Man, I'm telling you, this could be a very good playoff team. But again, everybody in the SEC, I talked about Texas A&M. They don't play Georgia. They do not play Ole Miss. They do not play Alabama. They get Texas last game of the year in College Station. They get Notre Dame when they know their quarterback better than anybody because Mike Elko coached him. And there's a little bit of issue on the the Notre Dame offensive line right now here early in the season. Their schedule is softer than baby poo. Missouri, Tennessee, Texas A&M, easiest schedules in the SEC. Then, of course, you got the powerhouses, of course. What's Georgia going to do? Kalen DeBoer down in Alabama. Dadgummit. I am fired up for a little bit of football. Did want to mention a couple things before I did kind of jump off of, everything. I did want to mention in the National Football League, what in the hell was that by Trey Lance? Dude, did Dak Prescott, was he just going crazy this weekend? Brian Dacus is a Cowboy fan. My buddy Isaac Simpson's a big Cowboy fan. Trey Lance did look good when he was running the football. But did you know he threw five interceptions?
Oh, yeah.
In the third and final preseason game? He threw 5 picks? Holy what?
Also threw for over 300 yards.
Dude.
A little give and take.
Yes, he did. Okay, so what he giveth, he also taketh away.
Exactly.
And it's pretty damn immediate. And again, this was the third and final preseason game. A couple of those picks were just terrible. Now, one of them 100% you can say unequivocally it was not his fault, but I will just tell you the decision-making is confusing. But you do have to see the raw athletic ability with him back there. And I'm just kind of like wondering if you're like this, every NFL coach and every NFL scout thinks they can fix people. If they get them. Look, Josh Allen, when my man came out of Wyoming, he had the ugliest, funkiest release you've ever seen in your life. They completely changed his mechanics. But Josh Allen's one of those few dudes who went out there and put in the work. Not everybody can constantly change the way that they play. And he, of course, has more physical tools than most people can shake a stick at. He is huge. He has got a big arm. And damn it, man, they've done a great job with him in Buffalo. But he is much more accurate because it completely changed his footwork, his throwing mechanics, where he released the ball. It's just all new. So, yes, it did work. NFL teams can fix you. But it's more the exception than the rule. Like Joe Milton in New England, well, I would rather keep Joe Milton just because Bailey Zappi, you know what you're going to get with him. You still have Drake May on that team. And I just still, like, I look at Joe Milton and say, you know what, if they did it with Josh Allen, there is a chance. But as Jake Crane said, we have seen them try to do it at Michigan. We saw Josh Heupel fail in Knoxville. And I just feel like, yes, as Jake said, we are on the 8th chapter. I don't know if it's going to work, but over in the National Football League, when you look at the quarterback play and when you talk about football, it's all about Pat Mahomes. It's all about Joe Burrow. It's all about those dudes who can take care of business, who don't just protect the football, but they make the exceptional play. But we're about to get into a little bit of Hardwood where it feels so good. I got some funny stories. Now, I got to remind you how we get to Cardinwood. Well, one place is one way that helps me get there is Tito's. It's the #1 spirit in the whole wide world. It's crafted and distilled in the United States. It is Russian? No. It is French? Absolutely not. It's good old US of A vodka. Plus, it's 100% gluten-free. They 6 times distill it before they still it in classic copper pots, very small batches. That's why it has such a unique flavor, slightly sweet. It has that black pepper note and balances everything out. Doesn't matter if you're crafting a cocktail or drinking it neat. Make sure you get your Tito's on today. Let's go to Hardwood.
This is Access Hardwood.
Holy moly. Please tell me you watched College Game Day. Tell me you watched the whole Pat McAfee show last Friday. Or just hopped on your X and watched the debauchery from the boys over at ESPN and the Pat McAfee show. It was out of control. And I do have to say, I'm a little disappointed in so many things out there in this world. And the one thing that I'm disappointed in is that he has just been celebrated for eating a 100-milligram edible on air and chugging beers. Who did that first, Mr. Dacus?
Who?
Who do you think?
I don't know. Who?
Me.
Oh, yes.
This is not anything new.
That's right.
This is like, they act like he invented to do, he is the first person to do it. But I can tell you one thing I haven't done
Doggy.
like he did. I haven't thrown up. Oh, yeah, Doggy's done it. He's older than me. He does it all the time. It's kind of crazy, man. I remember when I used to talk about my little, situations. People used to tell me I was crazy. And now if you look around, everybody and their grandmother's doing it. Like it's like the social norm, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to do it?
No.
All right. Well, now I feel bad for you, but we'll see what happens. Now, one other thing. You won't even believe this. You know how I keep talking about those astronauts who are stranded in space?
Yeah, I was actually, there was stuff was happening over the weekend, right?
Dude, this is so crazy. Okay, so these poor astronauts, number one, they have been stuck in there. They were supposed to go on a trip for 8 days.
Yeah.
8 days. They're going to go up there, party, have a little bit of fun, do a little bit of floating, look down at some stuff. I don't know, maybe do some work and experiment here or there. You know?
Sure.
They're not going to be here for the entire football season. They're not going to be back until the Super Bowl's played. I'm sorry. Call me crazy. I feel like that's a little unacceptable. And you know why they're not coming back? Because NASA is so stupid that they actually let Boeing make them a rocket. They can't even screw their doors open. And now their little Starliner, which is up there docked at the International Space Station, it will not be able to bring the astronauts down. And guess who's going to have to rescue the astronauts?
SpaceX.
SpaceX is going to have to rescue the astronauts. Now, the audacity of what I saw this morning is unbelievable. So NASA came out there and said it was 100% not safe. They talked about how, Boeing is well over budget, billions over budget, late as Cooter Brown. And basically, it's their first launch. It's been a dramatic fail.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't been the Challenger, but it's been pretty. So they aren't home yet. If you know what I'm saying,
Right.
Still more. Do you know what the Challenger is?
Yeah. It was the one that blew up, right?
Yeah, with the poor, the astronauts and the poor teacher and everything.
Right.
God, I was like, man, that was terrible, man. Terrible. Well, we got to get them down, but they're going to have to use SpaceX. But here's the one thing. Boeing came out today and said they disagree with NASA's decision, and they feel like they could bring the astronauts down. Dude, come on, man. You were supposed to bring them down after 8 days. It's August, man. This thing went up there in June. They're going to be up there for 8 months. They're going to miss they're going to miss the best months of the year, the months. September, college football season in the NFL starts. October, Halloween candy and more football. November, we get Thanksgiving, tons of football with turkey legs, and it makes me miss John Madden.
Right.
Then you got Christmas rolling around. We're going to have bowl games. The fat man's coming down. You're going to be with all your family. And no, they're going to be stuck up there eating dried food that's freeze-dried, and just the situations that they have to live in. Can you imagine?
No, I couldn't.
How the hell? I feel like that is a nightmare among nightmares. That's just one of those.
I still don't fully understand it, John. I'll be completely honest. I've seen a lot of people talking about this story and everything, and quite frankly, I don't understand it all. So I've tried not to pay attention to it as much as I can.
Man, I don't know how you can't pay attention to it.
It's literally everywhere.
It's just realistically, imagine how bad that would just suck to be stuck.
Yeah.
And the thing is they weren't even they shot him up there. I feel to be kind to the astronauts, to be yo, there's not a whole lot going in June.
Right.
I don't know if you really care about the Olympics, but we're gonna make sure we get you back down here before the start of football season because nobody wants to miss football season.
That's right.
I mean, damn. And now these poor you know what? I ain't gonna to be real. If it was some Russian astronauts stuck up there, I don't know if it'd be that big a deal because they don't play football. They don't want to be stuck up there during hockey season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right. And hockey season's not for no, John. Their hockey season starts in a week.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. The only reason I know this is because I used to bet on European and Russian hockey in college because it started in like September, and the games are at like 9 a.m. in the morning while I'd be in class. I'd just be betting on like Russian hockey. So yeah, it's coming up soon.
Now, you know that I'm not somebody that fat shames people, right? Because I'm
Oh, no,
more
not
mature
you,
than that.
John. Yeah, you're very mature.
I mean, I hate to say it, though. I mean, you know, like 60% of all you people out there are obese. Let's come on, get in the gym. Push away, you know,
Yeah.
eat a.
You're
do me a
doing so
favor,
well, John.
Throw a carrot, maybe some broccoli in there.
You're doing so well,
try
John.
Eat a little bit.
What happened?
You know, Oh, sorry. My bad. You know, I'm just a big fan of bikinis and stuff. So,
That's
like,
right.
I always just want to make
Bingo.
sure that people are looking their best. My main thing, though, is I want you to understand, people, Luka Doncic, he is. When we saw what him and Kyrie could do this year, they made it all the way to the finals. Now, Boston was just a little bit too much. But how great was Luka? He was amazing. But he's like Fatty Patty, the UFC guy who blows up like a balloon. Did you see him this weekend in this little celebrity game? It was honoring Goran Dragic. It was a little celebrity game. I don't even know where the damn thing was played. But I did not know why they were making fun of, quote, this very chunky, fat celebrity. Until I looked closer and realized that it looked like a dude wearing a fat suit of Luka Doncic. But it was really Luka Doncic in his own fat suit. Like, if this guy could put in the work in the offseason and just try to get himself, like, he is so damn talented. Don't get me wrong. I know he works hard and everything. But this man, and again, I like him, man. You know, you see him, he drinking beer, you know, right after the ball game in the locker room, smiling, doing his own thing. You know, Luka, he does go to the beat of his own drum. I respect that. But I also know that your career will be over in a blink of the eye, and the rest of your life you'll look back and you will be living through this vicariously, because you know how many high school athletes out there, including me and other people, who still live vicariously through the stuff you did back 20, 30 years ago. Could you imagine being one of the greatest basketball players of all time and you didn't even put in the work? Don't have regrets in the future. And I'm going to say this is the other thing that just makes my heart broke and a little bit disappointed. When I see Zion so skinny, I'm just wanting to know what the hell's going on with you, Luka. You know what might just have to do with Luka?
What's that?
Just Ozempic the hell out this dude. Like, if I am the Dallas Mavericks, I don't even tell him. I'm like, hey, you need to come in every week. We got to give you a B12 shot. And you just do a little wink, wink. And then you just start shooting him up with that Ozempic, man. Keep that boy skinny. What do you think?
Maybe an option. Who knows?
It does sound kind of disrespectful if you just. But I mean, it's if you're doing what's technically best for him, aren't we at least showing that we care? Right?
I guess so. Yeah.
No.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Don't know.
John, I saw this over the weekend. I think I actually saw it Friday, and I don't think we did Hardwood on Friday because we were just so busy.
Yeah, were you talking about the women's brawl during the soccer match?
No. That is not what I was talking about.
Oh, man, that was let me tell you something. That was a brawl. Did you see it, man?
No,
It was
I
crazy
didn't see
scene.
it. I didn't see it.
Do you know Amherst College?
Actually, I do, I think.
Yeah, dude.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think it was Rutgers and Amherst. Man, I don't know. But anyway, I should probably remember, but I didn't even mean to go here. But I was watching on my X because, I wasn't watching soccer.
Right.
I mean, ridiculous.
Of course not.
But
I'm
on
watching
the
soccer
X,
right
man,
now. Serie A.
These girls got after it, man. There was a very, very rough foul by one girl, and she got up and she said, hey, man, I ain't taking that.
Yeah, I did see that. That was like Rutgers, wasn't
Dude.
it?
Yeah, that's who it was. That's who it was. I'm so proud of you. You didn't even know what I was talking about.
Yeah,
Now
well, I
you
saw it
actually
on
know what I'm
Twitter
talking
last
about.
night. Yeah, I sure did.
It was amazing.
Huh.
I will tell you one thing. Could you imagine it being that poor ref? Like, he didn't know what to do.
That's true.
He's looking around, and he's got girls who are just breaking, who went straight freaking, what's the girl for UFC that was so good, Amanda Nunes? They got that one girl going Amanda Nunes out there. I was ready for a karate chop.
So, John.
Oh, yeah, you had a score.
There
story.
are,
I'm sorry, I
there are
apologize.
few things I love in this life that we live, and one of them has almost become a stereotype about me around this building, which I don't know if I like or not, but it's my love for Chick-fil-A. Love Chick-fil-A, love me a good chicken sandwich, some nugs, some fries, really
Did
all
you
that
say some
stuff.
nugs?
Yeah,
I love
some
nugs.
chicken nuggets, absolutely. I'm thinking actually about having it for lunch today. But I saw this over the weekend. Chick-fil-A is planning to launch its own streaming service. How about that?
No
Netflix,
way. Wait,
Hulu,
hold
and
on.
Chick-fil-A.
Wait a second. So what are they going to stream? Like how nice they are in the line?
No,
how
they're-
they make their
They're gonna have their own shows.
like you're going to have a managing team in there, and they're going to be like, listen,
Here's
Julie, your smile wasn't big enough today.
Honestly, that might not be a bad show of like almost kind of like Undercover Boss, but at Chick-fil-A, and like to see like how are the employees always so happy. Except I don't know if you've been to a Chick-fil-A
Dude, I'm
lately.
gonna tell you right
Some
now,
of them
I
not
think
very
that-
happy anymore.
I think the people at Chick-fil-A, like they might be, instead of, you know how like we need to give Ozempic to Luca so, you know, he's not fat. Maybe they're putting some like little mood elevators in their water for their employees.
Maybe.
Because you ever seen anybody in there who's not just like so deadgum over the top nice?
Yes, unfortunately, but I think it's just because I go too often and I see the good, bad, and the ugly. Here's a quote from a story I was reading about this new streaming service. Chick-fil-A isn't just dipping its toes into the streaming waters, it's diving head first. The company is reportedly working with major production companies and studios to create original content. The primary focus seems to be on reality shows and other unscripted programming, which could attract a family-oriented audience. So, how about that?
I mean, that's I don't like all these streaming service, like Chick-fil-A popping up into the streaming service.
Do you
like, what's
think?
next?
Do you think they're going to add televisions inside their buildings to like show their own content so more people will see it? Because here's the thing, John, I don't think everybody that goes to Chick-fil-A will know that Chick-fil-A has their own streaming service. So I think they got to get out there. Honestly, also, let's buy the rights to like the Pac-2 or something like that. Like, imagine going and watching Oregon State and Washington State football, basketball, and baseball games on the Chick-fil-A network, you know?
I don't know.
Also, do they show things on Sunday, or is it just like a black screen? Because Chick-fil-A
Oh, no,
isn't
they'll
open
just
on
show
Sunday.
church. They'll just
That's
show
right.
church.
That's true. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, dude. That way, dude, that would work. Coincide.
There you go.
All right, sorry about that.
I thought I lost you for a
Again,
second.
Yeah, you did a little bit. I've been struggling a little bit, man. I got my allergy.
Yeah, you've been
I
pretty
don't know
good
what
today.
it
You
is.
called me before, a little peek behind the curtain. You called today before your show started and said that you had a cold and that you might be coughing and sneezing throughout the entire show. And you've been pretty good. It's only been a couple times that you've had to turn your mic off to cough and sneeze.
Yeah, it's been. Thank y'all though, everybody, for putting up with me and getting me through it. Now, I did also have to bring up one more story. Were you ready for this one?
Ready.
Did you know what OJ did with his remains?
I have no idea, and I had no idea this is where you were going. This surprised me. Go ahead.
This surprised me too. Well, OJ had his remains. He was cremated,
Okay.
and then he had his ashes, and he did this, of course, with his the love of his lawyer. He had his remains, his ashes, like all like burn up. You know what I'm saying? That's
Okay.
what they do, and that's how you become ashes.
Uh-huh.
Then he had him put his ashes in jewelry and give them to all of his kids.
Huh. How about that? It's nice.
Like, I love, man. I don't know, man. That's just yo, bro, where'd you get that piece? What is that? Is that a milli? Is that like a little, what is that, Rolex?
It's actually my father's
Oh, no,
hand.
this is OJ, man. This is the ashes, man, from when he
Huh.
died. The man who, no, man, that's just, I don't know. When I saw what OJ did with his remains at first, I was thinking to myself, oh, God, I have no idea.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard of that before. There's a lot of different things you can do with your remains. Maybe a touchy subject to bring up on the radio, but you can like plant a tree with your like remains. You can shoot it up into space. I watched a video one time and it was like 50 things you can do with your body after you die, and it was interesting.
Now, one other story I forgot to tell you. Did you see what Caleb Williams said over the weekend?
No.
And by the way, Caleb Williams is going to be that dude. I mean, he looks really good. The guy's got more. I mean, he's just dripping in talent.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that's a little bit wild, though, is you know how the whole fingernail paint thing kind of like caught on a little thing of its own?
Sure.
Did you hear that he says that he doesn't care what his hater said? He's going to make sure that he has his fingernails painted a different color for every single game of the year.
Yeah, I did see that.
When you watch him play on Sundays, my man, he will be fingernail painted out. And I don't know why that is just so annoying to me and weird. It's just weird. Man, like, could you imagine, like, you're sitting in there, you're doing nails, you know what I'm saying? Like, Chas goes and get her nails done. That's one, and she says she loves it. Now, the thing is, like, she goes there and she drinks, like, champagne, and they do, like, you know what I'm saying? They're, like, kind of bougie about it. Is he going to be drinking champagne, while he's sitting there getting his fingernails painted?
I don't know. It's a good question. Maybe it's a question to ask Terry on the other side.
Terry Davis is going to join us. Y'all know TD. He's been out doing some stuff with Memphis today. Did you know that?
Yeah, absolutely. We got depth charts today.
Depth charts today. Memphis, man. Most beautiful land in the whole wide world. But right down here at Cherokee Valley, where it is absolutely beautiful, and we're doing beautiful things for all kinds of people. We're raising money for the FCA, the Northwest Mississippi chapter. Again, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. If you want to learn more, if you want to donate monthly, go to northwestmsfca.org. That's northwestmsfca.org. I'm going to take a quick time out. I'll be back in 2 shakes. Don't you dare touch the dial at Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Listen up, I got Marty McNate on the line at Gossett Volkswagen, Germantown. Marty, you might be too busy moving back prices over there. What's up?
Going way back, Randy. Doc's orders. I've got 2024 Teos SE or 2024 Jetta Sport. Got to go back in time to get the good old days at $275 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. Plus, I hear the 2024 Atlas Peak editions are going for $5,000 off MSRP, or $1.9 for 60 months.
That's right, Randy. During the Volkswagen Savvy Summer Sales Event, your future is whatever you make of it. So go to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown at 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
Ask for Marty to find out how much he can move you back on price. That's Gossett Volkswagen 7420 Winchester Road.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
There's an institution in East Memphis that I love talking about. It's the Spirit Shop at 4848 Poplar Avenue, right down the street from Clark Tower, and it looks like a log cabin. It's been around Memphis since 1969 with a family-owned, friendly, knowledgeable sales staff that is just a wonderful place to go. I love going in and talking wine or bourbons, and they've got such great selection. So if you've not visited the Spirit Shop in a while, it's been remodeled. You'll love what you see when you need spirits. Tell Eddie Wollo said hello.
4.9 liter V8, 0 to 60, and I'm about to find out.
Now, back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. Happy Monday. Football's back. We're going to talk a little Memphis Tiger football with my buddy Terry Davis, but want to remind you we're down here at Cherokee Valley. Little golf going on at Olive Branch today. It's for the FCA, the Northwest Mississippi chapter. Again, doing wonderful things for the kids in the Mid-South. Go to northwestmsfca.org to learn more. Become somebody who donates monthly. Help change some young people's lives. Again, young athletes can go out there and inspire many, many people. They are leaders. Now, speaking of a man out there who's a leader in the Mid-South, one of the best journalists I know is Terry Davis. TD, what up, Holmes?
Man, what is up with you? How's your weekend?
My weekend was extremely good. I watched a whole lot of football. Underdogs came in. Was excited about the Georgia Tech game because I had them plus the 11.5 and on the money line. And it was just awesome. Did some day drinking, which I love to do. I've been actually doing a little bit too much day drinking because I was off for a while. But I have been having a lot of fun. And I don't know, man, I'm just stoked. And watching Florida State lose made me feel real good about Memphis. How's the depth chart over there? And what'd you learn about the Memphis Tigers?
We pretty much know the same thing. Ryan, he do a lot of coach speak, so he's not gonna give you a lot. So, and then we're like a 39-point favorite. So you can expect a lot of people to get a lot of action this week. But what I'm looking forward to is seeing how well that defense holds up. If that defense can shut down this FCS team, that would be a good sign.
Where's the strength of the defense, you think?
The strength of the defense is going to be in the offense, the defensive line. If they can control the line of scrimmage, and get some pressure on the quarterback without blitzing, that will mean a lot, and take a lot of pressure off the defensive back. Because with the leader gone from last year, it's going to be hard. Jalen Allen, he was the heart and soul of that defense. But him gone, they got to have another established leader. I know Chandler's back, but he's not bad, but he's not Jalen.
No, he's not Jalen. The other thing is, though, when you watch that Georgia Tech defense, you had to feel good against Florida State because if that defensive front shuts down the run, the linebackers fly the way they did. DJU is not a quarterback. You watched him even in Mike Norvell's offense. You've watched him at Oregon State. You've seen him at Clemson. He's not a guy that you're going to trust on third down. So it gives me heck of hope when it comes to this. I'm a little fired up.
I'm very fired up, but I'm kind of disappointed too because with that loss, Florida State going to drop like a rocket out of the top 20, maybe out the top 25. And I really wanted them to be in the top 25 when Memphis go down there and play them.
Well, there's some wild stuff that could happen here, especially in this first week. We got so many great matchups. A lot of people, week 0, week 1 in college football, you're not like thinking there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to get upset. But you got to remember, man, we got games like Georgia's playing Clemson. You got Florida and Miami are playing. You got Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Trying to think of the games where you got ranked teams. USC and LSU were playing early this season. I mean, you're going to have some of those big boys drop off. If they go out there and beat the brakes out of Boston College on September 2nd, they can still sneak back up in, I think, the top 25 because I think we're going to have a little bit of movement.
Yeah, I hope so. But I just want them ranked. So when Memphis go down there, it'll be a nationally ranked game. It'll be so all the AP people can see Memphis because Memphis needs as many people look at them early in the season, so they won't have a Liberty or a Boise State taking their spot if they go 11-1 or 11-2 or 12-0.
Undefeated, bro.
Right.
They're going undefeated.
I really think I keep telling everybody the ceiling for this team is 12-0. The floor is if they win less than 8 games, we might have a new coach. That's bad. That's bad to say, but if they only win 8 games and don't make the championship game, that's going to be a bad sign, a bad look. So they have to make the championship game.
Oh, unequivocally. Unequivocally, they have to. Also, though, looking over at Mike Norvell, of course, just the fact that they had their best year last year, everything was rolling. Jordan Travis gets injured. The wheels fall off. They don't make the college football playoff. They get beat 63-3 in the bowl game by Georgia. They go across the pond. They open up the season against Georgia Tech and lose. Now they got DJU. Mike Norvell, is this a season? Because I looked at that schedule after that ball game. There are losable games all over the place, including Memphis.
Yeah, a lot of people don't remember, but he lost about 20, 25 people off that team, for the bowl games in Georgia, because a lot of those guys said, "Look, I'm going pro, so I'm not going to play in this bowl game." So that really wasn't the same Florida State team, especially when the quarterback went there too. So that was a bad look there, and he pretty much hit the transfer portal really, really hard. And that team has not gelled yet, but I still think they're going to be in the mix for winning the ACC this year.
You still think they're going to be in the mix for the ACC the way Georgia Tech's offensive line manhandled them?
I think it's just it's a chemistry issue, just like with the Tiger basketball team last year. I think it's a chemistry issue. They just haven't developed the chemistry yet on the offensive line. And by week 4, week 5, I think the chemistry will be there. And that's why I think that we...
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If they have 2 losses after September 14th, the wheels are going to fall off.
But the guy realized only one is in conference, and that's the only thing that matters. And if you go and win the ACC championship, you go to the playoff, and that's the only thing that matters.
I feel what you're saying. If you go and win the ACC championship, but Georgia Tech looks pretty good. I'm not worried about Clemson all that much, but they're going to be possibly better than Florida State, Miami, with Cam Ward, North Carolina State's got, bringing in Grayson McCall. I feel like that ACC's still wide open.
It's wide open, and especially when you got Miami and Clemson. It's going to be wide open, and I don't think Georgia Tech, by what they did against Florida State, more teams going to take them more seriously. And I think because of that, a team might jump up for like a week and just upset them because they're not going to get up for a week like a week ago.
What else? Tell me something. Did you learn anything else about the University of Memphis? What else we got going on over at Memphis?
Other
the depth charts out.
Other than the Lakers soccer team just dominating the Ole Miss last night, man. It's just a different feel.
Wait, did you just say that the Memphis ladies soccer team dominated Ole Miss?
Yeah, last night they beat them 2-1. Yeah,
Damn.
8-10, man. That was dope. great, man. Those women are great, man. And then also too, we went to the Liberty Bowl on Friday, and that was really nice. I mean, Thursday evening, we was on the field with the big hole in it, so it really looked nice. The field is in great shape. The stadium
So
may not
does it
look
look?
great.
How's it going to look on television by just showing that half? Are they going to be able to pull it off and make it look pretty good?
See, I don't know if they're smart. They'll put advertising on that big hole, up there.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, you're gonna see the Coliseum from the TV shot. 'Cause, they're moving the cameras to the east side of the gate of the stadium, so you're gonna be taking a shot of the former home side, with the big hole in it.
The what now? Were you talking about where the press box and all that side where they knocked that whole jut down?
Right. So the camera's gonna be on the other side of the field, so they'll be shooting the old press box side that was there. So you'll see the Coliseum there.
Got to ask you another question, man. Please tell me, you saw? Were you able to watch College Game Day and all that good stuff?
Yes, I did.
The Dublin thing situation was pretty dope, honestly. Like, it was pretty awesome. But did you see Pat McAfee?
People hated Herb Street, man. He pissed
Dude,
off.
why was everybody booing Herbie?
Because Herbie was on early saying Florida State's schedule sucked and they shouldn't be in the playoffs. And those Florida State fans remember that because he was first on the bandwagon all year because of strength of schedule. And that's why they've been on him all the time. I even saw one sign that was just really inappropriate.
Ruthless.
They were ruthless. They hated. Game Day should not go to Florida State this year, but under no circumstance. Period.
Yeah, because Herbie won't be feeling very comfortable down there. I can tell you that much. But man, I would tell you one thing. Did you know Ireland was like that beautiful, and those dudes? They look like they know how to party.
They've always know how to party, but they had perfect weather over there. But normally it's dreary, just like England. It's just if the sun's out, it buns out. It's great over there, but it's almost like a eastern version of Seattle, man. When the sun's out, it's a beautiful city. When it's not out, it's just a regular city. You follow me?
Yeah, I do follow you. I got a question for you. What do you think about Deion Sanders and that reporter situation?
As a journalist, you should be allowed to ask any question. But as a columnist, that's what you do. As a columnist, you don't have to go to pressers and do because you can just take anything because it's really your opinion.
You take your opinion. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
I think he did more harm by acknowledging it than letting it go because before he acknowledged it, I didn't know some of the headlines.
You ever heard of the Denver Post columnist Sean Keeler? Because I know I hadn't heard of him before. He got called out by Deion Sanders.
I heard of him before, but I didn't know he went on Deion like that. But that's what columnists do. They're supposed to poke the bear. That's who sells the paper, the columnist.
Mm-hmm.
Because they
right
the
there
one
with you.
they the one that says negative stuff to make you look bad or say positive things to make the community feel well. That's what they do. That's their job.
I don't know, man. I just thought, I'm going to tell you, I think, Deion is fascinating what he's done with college football, Colorado, the whole situation. This year, I can't wait for the Nebraska game. I want to see how they're going to be. Are they going to be able to keep Shedeur Sanders upright? Is he going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, or other guys going to go ahead?
No.
I mean, I don't think so either. I'm just saying, but there's so much intrigue around a program that let's not forget, before Deion came, I think the season before they had one win.
Yeah, and my thing is, I even said that they will probably make a bowl game this year because I keep telling people that the Pac-12 is a whole lot easier. The Big 12 is a whole lot easier to win in than the Pac-12. So they're going to have a whole lot of opportunities to win. Kansas.
It's crazy. Right. This Pac-12, though, there's only 2 teams in there. Is that the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
Yeah, but eventually the Mountain West and Pac-12 will eventually merge because of the history of the Pac-12 and what they have with the contracts. So eventually the Mountain West will merge into the Pac-12.
I just feel like I have a feeling that there's just the other conferences are sexist. They're leaving the Beavers and the Cougars out. Only reason I can think of is a straight sexism.
And not money?
No. Who doesn't like a nice cougar? Obviously, the big boys. And then don't even get me started.
The conference that should be worried right now is the ACC. That's the conference I have. If you ask me what conference I'm more
Dude,
worried
if you're
about,
if you're Mike Norvell, and I know you're if you're the Florida State and you're begging to get out of the ACC, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because if you ain't dominate the ACC right now the way it is right now, I'm telling you right now, getting beat by Georgia Tech, definitely going to lose to Memphis, and being owned by the whole state of Georgia. Georgia Tech beat you, and then Georgia just pulled out that boot and did a hobnail stomp on their face.
and this is how much money makes people think illogically. If I'm Clemson and Florida State, if I stay in the ACC, I'm guaranteed to go to the playoffs every year. If I switch over to the Big Ten or Big Ten or the SEC, you might not make the playoffs. So how stupid is that to not to make the playoffs just because you want, 15, 20 extra $1 million? That is stupid. It's asinine. But who am I?
Last question. Did you see Juju's teaming back up and heading to Kansas City?
Say that again?
Juju Smith-Schuster.
Oh, he's going back to Kansas City? When did
Man, yeah, they agreed to a little contract with him today, man. You got Schuster, who was, 2022 Super Bowl champs team. He was the leading wide receiver then.
He didn't do anything in New England last year, but,
Dude, come on, man. Look at New England had, man. They had a bunch of noodle-armed dudes who couldn't play. They had Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones.
Did you see Milton?
Bill Belichick had quit on the team because he's dating somebody that's 24 years old. Do you think he was worried about football?
He had no energy.
Yeah, no kidding. He definitely is. He was weak in the knees. He had no energy. But I look at this Chiefs team, and you remember last year they had more drop passes than anybody. It wasn't like their weapons on the outside since they lost Tyreek Hill were the same. But you got now Marquise Brown, Xavier Worley. You drafted him in the first round. Rashee Rice. We'll see what happens with him. Juju Smith-Schuster. They still have Travis Kelce. Watch out, Chiefs.
And they got the fastest man in the NFL draft last year, too.
Yeah, Worley, boy. Xavier Worthy, that 40 he ran, the only thing that scares for me, man, I don't give a damn. He's $160. It scares me.
But when you run against defensive back that doesn't like to tackle and you back that far,
Devontae Smith isn't very big either, so, you can do it.
It's gonna be fun, man. It's good we're talking football again because I know you love football, and before you know it, it's gonna be basketball season gonna be over with, and you're gonna be crying again.
That is true.
Once football season gets here, Christmas is going to be here before you know it. You might as well start buying your Christmas gifts right now because it'll be here before you think about it.
Just make sure, everybody, if you want to buy me a gift, give me a bottle of Tito's, and I'll be so blessed. Man, Terry Davis, I just realized I'm out here at Cherokee Valley. I am late for a break. I hope you have a blessed Monday. We'll do it again. Enjoy the football, and thank you for your time.
Talk to you later, my brother. Be safe out there.
I will be. That's my buddy Terry Davis. Well, we're going to take a quick time out. I do want to remind you one thing. For a perfect finish every time, there's only one. That's Rick's Powder Coating. Go to rickspowdercoating.com or call Rick's at 901-367-2771. Again, automotive, ornamental, residential, industrial, 2 conveyor lines, largest batch ovens in the Mid-South. Anything you need, they got it. Powder Coating is flat out amazing. Check out what they can do for you. Back into Shake Sports 5698.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11, here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Family Leisure is having the world's biggest spa set. It's happening right now. You can save thousands on in-stock hot tubs that are ready to be delivered. Family Leisure has spas that start at just $28.99. You know those cold plunges? You can get one for yourself starting at $39.99. Or how about swim spas? They start at $17,499. Plus, Family Leisure has set up special financing just for this event. Have you been sitting on the fence about an above-ground pool? Get off that fence and get to Family Leisure to take advantage of huge discounts on all their in-stock above-ground pools. And if you need some patio furniture, it's all priced to move out now. It's not too late to have some summer fun, courtesy of Family Leisure. But you better hurry up. The world's biggest spa sale might go on forever. Family Leisure. Whitten Road at I-40. Family and fun come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. the rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 5 Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com. 367-0050 or MemphisRoofer.com.
Hey everybody, no matter what new Chevy or pre-owned car you're looking for, our friends at All-Star Chevy have it on the lot or in the showroom in Olive Branch today. It's the All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale. Together, let's drive what we really want to drive. Come on, pick out 2 or 3 to test drive. Look, if you can't find it here, you can't find it anywhere. I'm looking at 20 to 30 new Silverados, marked down as much as 12%. That's going to save you thousands. Every Tahoe you could want for road trips and tailgating, it's here. Law enforcement and all first responders, healthcare, teachers, military, and college students and grads get an extra $500 bonus. I mean, look at these pre-owned Ram trucks and Silverados, Broncos, 4Runner, Audi, Hyundai Palisade. They even have the Corvette Stingray. It's the best week to get the most money on any vehicle you want to sell. Just bring it to All-Star Chevy in Olive Branch and get a big check today. So let's go. Don't miss the All-Star Chevy's end of summer sale going on right now in Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
For retro cruiser styling packed with modern innovations, riders of all skill levels choose a Honda Rebel. Incredible motorcycles with a stripped-down style and a full package of features. Both the 300 and the 500 offer compact power inside a lightweight frame. Combined with a low slung seat, the Rebel is easy to start on. And with new colors for this year, they are impossible to ignore. Go to Desato Honda to check out the 2023 Honda Rebels. Cruisers with premium style and performance to enjoy every second. Never use the street as a racetrack with the law with the owners.
But you gotta be willing to take the hit and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Now back to Sports 56 Happy Hour on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again, Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to a little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio. We've been down here at Cherokee Valley. It's almost time to tee it up. We are doing all this, though, for Fellowship of Christian Athletes. It's our Northwest Mississippi division. If you want to become a sponsor, go to northwestmsfca.org, and we have some great title sponsors out here. Landers, Bobby Warden, Energy, State Farm, Ryan England, Windstone Dental. We also have Atmos and Bank Plus, Cadence Bank, CM Builders, Cougar Chemical, Hernando Smiles, Strike Zone, Bowling Lanes. Again, you can make a difference in people's life. You can enjoy some of this maybe next year. If you want to be a part of FCA, again, northwestmsfca.org. Check it out. Now, hopefully you are winning some money. Dacus, do I hear the music or do I not? Because I can't tell what that is in the background.
Yes, you do, John.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't tell. So I guess that's my time.
No, you can give a bet if you want to bet. You've got time. You got about 50 seconds.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't tell. Thank you very much. You know that we already started a little bit earlier today with a little bit of baseball action, correct?
That's right.
We've got right now the team that's losing by 2, but right now it's a perfect time to jump on the Royals. You can get them plus money. It's just the middle of the third. Guardians already got 2, but Bobby Witt's going to get something going. And also today, what do you think about that Astros-Phillies game? Looks really kind of scary, especially when you see the fact that the Phillies are minus 185. But you know it's Zach Wheeler Day, and I back Zach. So let's rock and fire. I hope everybody enjoyed your Monday. We're going to be talking football, David Cobb's tomorrow, and a big thanks to all of our sponsors, Buster's Butcher, Bill at I Buy Houses, Frontier Western Store, and Tito's. Get out there, make the world a better place. We're going to see you on the flip side. Peace.
Guns, and more guns. Over 700 firearms in stock. Home defense guns, old guns, new guns, used guns, big guns, little guns. Every gun you can think of, Classic Arms has them. All brand free gun inspections and appraisals, and free bore sighting for the upcoming deer season. Shop online at ClassicArmsOfMemphis.com or visit Classic Arms at 1740 Germantown Parkway behind Quirky's Barbecue in Cordova. Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at TriumphAutoSales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
A lot of ladies here in Memphis are wearing beautiful diamond rings. Have you noticed? And a lot of gentlemen are wearing nice Rolex watches now. It's all thanks to Genesis Diamonds. Hey, it's Eric Hasseltine at Genesis Diamonds has made fine jewelry more affordable than ever. This is Tennessee's direct diamond import. No middleman pricing on the finest GIA certified diamonds. All shapes, all sizes, all at prices you never thought possible. And Genesis is the only jeweler that carries the top bridal designers in America. So you can find the perfect setting to showcase that diamond and have a truly one-of-a-kind ring. And something that I love, their incredible collection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches. These are all in pristine condition and priced right. Thanks to Genesis, you can get that Rolex you've dreamed about. All this with no commission salespeople, no pricing games, no pressure, no nonsense. Genesis Diamonds, the official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans, and Rob River Extended, or online at GenesisDiamonds.com.
After 4 games, Dolphins head coach Mike